Toot.
And we're live here. Let's see what Benjamin's going to do. All right, that looks really good.
Yay.
I like this. All right.
Love it.
Well, welcome everyone to the Freddie and Alyssa show. I had so much fun last week going live and interacting. We figured now that we're back together here in Florida, let's go live again. So while I do the opening, Alyssa, do you want to handle Benjamin?
Grab the dog. Hey, Benji.
All right. Well, welcome everyone to the Freddie and Alyssa show live. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, like, follow, all that fun YouTube stuff. If you're on Facebook and you're watching, you want to give us a like and follow the page, that would be awesome. And if you're listening on a platform like iTunes and you want to give us a 5-star review because you think we deserve it, that would be amazing. We've been putting up content now for almost 4 years. Can you believe it? This November is going to be 4 years. And we couldn't be doing what we love without all your support. So thank you so much for tuning in every Wednesday or Thursday or Friday, whenever you catch up with the Freddie and Alyssa show. We really, really appreciate it. And we will feature Benji at some point in the podcast.
I'm sure we will.
But before we get kicked off, we got some fun stuff to share with you. We also want to take some questions. Now that both of us are here, while we're answering questions, we'll be able to take other questions as well, which will be really, really fun. So please ask your questions, and we will do our best to get to as many as possible. But before we hop into the episode, we do have a sponsor for today's podcast. It's going to be read by the beautiful Alyssa Tabbitt-Smith.
Wow, drum roll, please, sir. Today's episode is brought to you by Lugs. All right, y'all, let's head back to the golden ages of the 90s. And that was when the fun and stylish Lugs brand first found its footing as a leader within the footwear and fashion space. Fast forward to today, and Lugs is crushing it, offering a full range of stylish footwear for the entire family. And with the holidays coming up, yes, y'all, I said the holidays. Can you stand that we're already on September 1st? We're on September 1st. This is crazy. So let's start our pre-holiday shopping early by heading to lugs.com. That's LUGZ.com to find the most versatile and stylish boots and canvas looks. And the amazing news, you guys, we have got a 30% off discount code for you. So you can use this code on any full-priced item. Note that this does not exclude the sale section, but is 30% off the full-priced items. So again, use Freddie Alyssa 30 at checkout for 30% off any full-priced item, not the sale section. So thank you again, Lugs, and happy shopping.
All right, I think when we kick this off, it's been a while, and Benji just got groomed. We need to show off Benji.
Shall I bring him
Bring
over?
Benji in, and we're going to show him off. For all of you who are listening to the audio only, Benji, you know Benji. You can picture him. He just got groomed. He's got a cute little scarf on.
Can you see his little scarf?
It's like a little picnic table covering with paws on it.
You look precious, Benji. Yay!
But we want to welcome you all to the live here. Thank you so much. Feel free to, ask some questions, and we're going to do our best to get to as many as possible.
Yes.
But I do want to kick off something pretty exciting that I kind of touched on 2 weeks ago. But Alyssa was like, until you can prove to get over the week or two hump, you're not talking about this publicly, because if you quit, it's going to look silly. Well, guess what? I am on day 14. So when I go to bed tonight, it'll be a complete 2 weeks of my 30-day diet plan that I've been working on. And I wanted to share with you this diet because it's the first time I've ever tried it. And if you followed our journey for the past 7 years, 5 years, 3 years, 2 years, even 3 months, we have done everything from the paleo diet. I went vegan 17 days before. I've done the keto off and on, calorie restrictions. And I will say, here's the good news. If it's Weight Watchers, Atkins, no matter what, if you stick to a diet, it does work. But I have yet to find a lifestyle or type of diet that after I lose a lot of weight, that I can continue and not over the next 6 months gain it back.
So hard.
So I've been on this roller coaster, but I've heard of the Whole30 diet. I don't know if you've all heard of the Whole30 diet. And the first time I ever heard about it was about 2 years ago. And I remember working on set, and Chandler decided to be on the Whole30 diet. And it was described to me in a very easy way, where it's just like whole foods, meaning just one ingredient. So you can't eat anything that there's more than one ingredient. And I wanted to go over this for you. And then I want to share with you how my first 2 weeks have gone. And I'm actually really excited about it, and it's really worked well for me. And it's actually affordable too. Like I go to the grocery store and I just pick up a handful of things that I've been eating, like the same exact things.
Tell the people about the diet,
So,
baby.
and I even have a printout. I feel like I'm a real journalist. So here's what you can have on it. You can eat meat, seafood, and eggs, vegetables and fruit, natural fats, and herbs and spices and seasonings. Eat foods with a simple or recognizable list of ingredients or no ingredients at all because it's a whole food and unprocessed. Now, I'm going to get into what you can eat, but you can pretty much guess what that's going to be. It's been very difficult, especially the first 5 days for me. It was very hard. Alyssa was out of town, so she didn't have to deal with my grumpiness.
Thank God.
But yeah, all I've been eating is meat, just straight meat, vegetables, fruit, almonds, and eggs. That's it. Water, coffee, club soda, and nothing else. So you cannot have added sugar, real or artificial. This includes maple syrup, honey, coconut sugar, date syrup, sativa, Splenda, any kind of sugar like that. You can't consume alcohol. That's been fun. So I've had no alcohol in 2 weeks, not even for cooking. And you can't eat grains. So you can't have wheat, you can't have rice, you can't have corn, sprouted grains, or there's a whole list too here, but you can look this up if you're interested. Quinoa, you can't have any of that. And you can't have legumes. So you can't have beans, red, pinto, garbanzo, chickpea, kidney, lima, none of that. You can't even have peanuts.
Well, it's so crazy because we stopped by my mom's this afternoon and she made this amazing, it was kind of like, what would you say? Ground turkey with kidney beans, I think. And it was just like this delicious meal she got back in the day from Suzanne Summers. You guys might remember she did this whole
workout stuff too, right?
Yeah, recipe book and stuff. And it's something I grew up on. I love it so much. And my mom was so excited to give it to us because Freddie was helping her with a few last chairs he's putting together. And he goes, I can't have that because there were all the beans in it. So he's been really, really dedicated. And I'm so proud of him because I'm not doing it. He is. And I know how much it takes to really commit to something like that. So very, very proud of you, honey.
I think the hardest thing for me,
lost a lot of weight already.
Yeah, the hardest thing for me to cut out was dairy. I have never cut out dairy. I've never gone 14 days ever without dairy in my life. But what else? I mean, just like processed foods and stuff hasn't been that difficult. Like when I do keto, it's basically what I'm having now. But but I'm like really, really strict. And I guess the whole point of it is after 30 days, you can kind of rid your body of those bad habits of craving sugar or processed foods or alcohol or whatever your kind of go-to bad food, ice cream, if that's what you're trying to do. But it's not going to be a long-term sustainable thing. I just kind of like creating a discipline in my life every now and then just to fight that challenge every day and go to bed feeling accomplished of like, wow, like I didn't eat anything off the diet, and you feel really good.
And a good kickstart for a diet. So like the fact that you feel a cheat would be beef jerky. Remember we were talking about that?
Yeah.
Like that's a really great kickstart to get into it. So, hey, I say more power to you for doing it, sticking to it. And let's see, you've got 2 more weeks left?
2 more weeks, but I want to keep it rolling. I don't want to just on day 31 go have a Big Mac and fry and a beer because then I just feel like what was the point? So I'm kind of using the momentum of the end of the year to try and go as long as possible. Now, day 31, we might be live having a pizza party and beer. So I don't know, but I will 100% make it 30 days and I'm going to see what I can do from there. But yeah, I want to incorporate after that, like the rice and like the whole grains and things like that. And then maybe just have a cheat meal every week where I can, eat Olive Garden and have some, margaritas or some beers or something. But I want to close this year out really strong. And I thought I would share that because I've tried many diets and honestly, they've all been great. They all have their perks. This one, I will say my favorite perk is it has sucked out like any sort of bloating or inflammation has just been like sucked out. So I feel very light. I've lost a lot of like water weight. and I also have a lot of energy. And because I'm not spiking my like insulin or blood sugar in the morning with like a big breakfast, I'm just having fruit. I'm not really hungry. And like even today, I have not had much food. Now, when we're done with the podcast, I'm going to make an entire ground turkey, like 99% fat-free ground turkey with onions and peppers and a baked potato. You can have baked potatoes on Whole30. Mix all that together, make a huge thing, and it's about 700 calories, and I'll just crush that. But you're so unbelievably full after that. So anyway, just thought I would share if anyone wants to get a kickstart.
Benji, if you're watching.
I bored him to death. I bored him
get to the
death.
Good stuff, guys. Get to the Q&A.
Well, the first question's a really good one that I can kick off to you.
What's that?
What have you guys, or how are you, and what have you guys been up to? What was like today? How's things going with the brokerage? I know that you've been doing a lot of stuff. And then what did we do today? We did something very exciting today.
Yes. Okay. So you guys may or may not remember, but my sister, my brother-in-law, my niece, and my other niece who's about to be born are all moving down to Orlando very soon. They currently live in New Jersey. They are putting their house on the market next week. Selling their house up there. And today we showed our brother-in-law all around Orlando because they're trying to really figure out what area that they want to purchase a home in. So, you know, of course, it's a huge move to go from a new state to a new state, an area that you don't know that well. So Freddie actually drove us around, and I had all these printouts, and I was handling all of the GPS stuff of where we were going and showing my brother-in-law, Jim, just exactly what you can get for the price that you're, you know, looking for in all of these different areas. Obviously, they have, two daughters that they're going to be raising. So family-oriented is very important. School district, very important. And of course, you know, more bang for your buck, because what we're really seeing here in Orlando in different areas, the prices get really high. So people will start going to a new area. So if you're familiar with Orlando, there's an area called Windermere, Dr. Phillips. Very, very pricey area. And so people started going to a city called Winter Garden. Now, Winter Garden, about a year ago, you could get a great 4-bed house probably for $350, and now it's probably $500-600. So now everyone's going from Winter Garden to Claremont, and that's a really cool area that we're looking at because, yet again, he works from home, so they want plenty of space, 2 daughters, a wife, eventually a dog, you know. So we're really looking at the areas, but I know they love Claremont thus far. So that was really fun. I can't wait to have literally the entire side of my family here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's going to be great. And we're so excited. So I'm really hoping, I think by like November, they'll be here.
And it's going to be nice to get like some experience with like little kids and like being in our lives because we just haven't, other than the twins that I worked with on the show. But that's also in a work environment, but like to actually like babysit and to do things gives you like a little insight. Just because it just sounds stressful. I mean, like hearing all the things they need, like kids add an unbelievable amount of responsibility and checklists to it.
I will tell you now, granted, my niece, Juliana, she is going to be 3 in October. And I just got back from visiting her. I hadn't seen her in 2 years since she was 1 because of the pandemic and traveling. And we just, didn't go for that reason. So I finally just came back from a trip. I spent 4 days with them, and maybe it's her age, but she was so fun. Just such a little angel, just like very easy to me, at least. Now, granted, I'm not the mom. She, is the one who's with her, but I was with her all day long. I gave her baths. We played. We have food together. Like, I was like, this doesn't seem too hard. But I didn't have her as a newborn. And I know that obviously is probably way more work. So I'm not afraid of it. I think it'll be so much fun.
Of the real child of ours?
Yeah.
Or just being...
Because like,
imagine just being like a rad aunt and uncle.
I mean, yes.
You can teach them, you can play with them,
True.
and then you almost like get out of all of the actual responsibility because they were looking for like school districts and playgrounds and water parks and safety and like, where they're going to play? How's this road? Like it's so much on top of everything. So it was really interesting to hear, in real time what
Yeah.
being a real adult is like and a parent.
You mean it's not all about us once we have a kid?
It's just all been about, I'm an only child. It's been about me my whole life, and now it's been about us.
Still about you.
And it's still about me. We had a friend once say, it's Freddie's world, we're all just renting space.
Oh my God.
And I like take that to heart. No, but we have been like on our own. We've been rogue. We've had a very untraditional life for 15 years. And even now getting settled a year into Florida with a little more, I would say traditional is the word I'm kind of keep going to, in the sense of like I just don't feel like I saw much traditional in Hollywood or LA, but out here I'm starting to really see the difference of like, like getting back into the traditional sense and having a routine. And but then when you think about being a parent, I almost feel like I'm obviously mentally ready for it, but I feel like I just left college or something.
Well,
like, don't you, even though we're like 33, 34,
yes,
I almost feel like I'm 22, 23 because I just like had this great experience, like college. And now I'm like out in the real world.
But I think people always feel like that. So for anyone that's a parent currently, and I hear this all the time, they always say, you're never going to be ready. You're never going to be ready. Did you feel that way, or did you feel you were ready? Because there are certain things I feel perhaps professionally in our life that, we're trying to get to a certain point that I feel that we accomplished, for me at least, to be ready to bring a baby into the world. But I know that kids come at all sorts of times, and you make it do and you figure it out. And of course, it's your child. So that's so fun and exciting. But I'm curious, did you guys feel you were ready? Because I feel like I hear that a lot, that everyone goes, you'll never be ready. And also there are people I know in their 60s, 70s, and they go, hey, I still feel like I'm an 18-year-old inside. I don't think that ever changes.
No. I don't know. Well, it only changes because when we were young, when I was 22, someone who was 34 was like ancient. But once you hit like 30, you realize like even 60, 70 is not old. Yeah. Like you're only as old as you feel. Like it's, and that's what also gave me a lot more patience. I've been listening to Gary Vee say that for a long time, mm-hmm. But now I don't feel any different from 18 years old.
I know.
I'm just smarter, like wisdom in life, but I don't feel any different. Like I'm still the same kid.
Yeah.
And so I know I'm going to feel like that when I'm 40. You just are who you are. Yeah. But I felt like with my parents, they were like parents.
Right.
Like I'm building more of a friendship with them now, but I felt they were very like parents. I feel like some people have like friends as parents, where mine were very like parents. Like do your homework, be on time, like very like do your, do the thing.
As they should be. I feel like I see a lot in our generation, parents calling their kids their best friends, their besties. And I've talked to my mom about that, and she goes, no, you're their parent. You're not their best friend, So it's just interesting to see the different generations and how they view that. Like, what do you think about that?
Well, I mean, that opens up a whole thing of like talking about generations, but it's, because even when I was home in Ashtabula and you talk to people who were older, like I'm talking about in their 80s, you can really see the generational difference between someone who's 85, someone who's 65, someone who's 45, someone who's 30, someone who's 25, someone who's 17. Like those are all those ages, like to stereotype it, are kind of we're all sharing this world, but we're all living in a different reality.
Yeah.
Like just hearing the mentality of like, but I think the reason that the younger generation has changed is that life has changed. We also have access, because this is what I was telling my mom, and I think this is like super weird to think about. But if this was 1947 and I wanted to bake banana bread, I would have to call my grandma and say, what is the banana bread recipe?
True, that's true.
And then I had to say, hey, I have a baby coming and the baby won't stop crying. What do I do? You have to ask mom. You have to ask grandma. And it's like now you're not just asking someone who raised you, but you're going to the internet, which you can get crap information, but there's also a lot of really great information from doctors, and you can get multiple opinions of, should you pick up your baby when it's crying? Should you let them cry it out when they're young? Do you have a nightlight? Should they eat Taco Bell? So I think us kids have access to so much more information and research, and we're kind of making up our own minds, but we're going through a shift where our parents, we're teaching them about the ways of the world.
Yep.
Because they're kind of getting into things, not all, but things later. Like my mom still pays her bills by writing checks.
I know.
And it just drives me up a wall. I'm like, what are you doing? So it's just like, I just think the whole world we're living in has changed. So when it comes to like, when we do have a kid, schooling, how we're going to raise them, what it's going to be like is going to be decisions we're going to have to make in the moment and do it our way. I also don't think it's fair to judge having children based on other people, even people you love.
Yeah.
Like, what do we want to do with our child?
And I feel too, you and I, and anyone watching can probably confirm this. We are very untraditional. We kind of do what we want to do, what we think is best. I mean, even with us eloping on New Year's Eve and unfortunately not having our family there and our friends there, it just was something that was right for us, So to have a kid and see what that whole, chapter and adventure is going to be like, I'm definitely very, very excited, but I just have a feeling we're going to kind of just do what we think is best because that's just kind of always how we've rolled, if you will. We have not been traditional at all.
I think a lot of that's me though. Like I work against the grain so much
all the time
because there was a lot of things like growing up that you are told to do. And then when you kind of grow up and you're just like, this kind of doesn't make sense. And so once one thing fell through for me, then it all started to crumble, like a lot of social norms for me. So that's why we've always been outside the box of like if it doesn't make sense just because it's tradition. So those are a lot of things we'll have to wait though until we have a kid to even dive into. Scarlet Fire Shadow said that she got the creamers from McDonald's. So you must have said that's a good idea there.
And what do you think? Are they not amazing? I have to tell you guys the craziest story. So you might remember throughout life, throughout the past few years, every single month, I try and go to McDonald's and I order about 30 creamers. He gets so embarrassed when I do this. He's just like, oh my gosh, Alyssa, what are you doing? I don't want to be in the car when you're doing this. And it's just because I think the creamers are so flipping good. So I go the other day because I noticed, hey, I'm on my last creamer. I got to get a couple more creamers. I do the whole order and they're like, oh, we could probably charge you for a soda to give you all 30 of these. I go, great, let's do it. I finally get up to the window and I'm so excited. And they go, oh, I'm so sorry. We don't have any more creamers. Instead, we have this for you. So they handed me a bag and I was just like, okay, thank you. I had no idea what it was. I pull over and I look in the bag and there is a just cup of creamer in it that is going to go bad, in probably a couple hours. And I go, gosh, darn it. I went through all of that. I didn't get my dang creamer. So we have to go back to McDonald's very soon.
I drink my coffee black, so it's not a big deal for me. But yeah, it's
I'm telling you, McDonald's creamer is bomb. I have to have it. It's so good. So good.
Cindy D, how are you? Giving you a shout out here. Also, someone asked what diet we were talking about. It's called the Whole30. You can Google it, and if you want to put yourself through it, it's a struggle the first 5 days, but I really, really feel good about it. And I like to shame her when she eats garbage, and I judge her.
Today, I go, he's always so judgy, so annoying. We were in the car, and I go, babe, I'm hungry. And you go, yeah, well, I'm not because I didn't spike my levels. I didn't eat X, Y, and Z like you. Like you're so annoying.
Now, this isn't healthy, but I would have never been able to do this on just a regular diet. I woke up today. I had a handful of mixed berries that I get that are frozen, and we were in a rush to leave today, so I didn't have much. I had black coffee in the morning. I had a handful of berries, and then that was at like 9 something, and then at 2 o'clock, I had 100 calories of just almonds. And then I didn't eat again until I got home around 6 o'clock. And I had 3 hard-boiled eggs with salt and some more berries. And then once we're done with the podcast, I'm going to actually eat my dinner. But I wasn't cranky. I didn't have low energy. But I'm 2 weeks in.
Do you know what you said today, babe? I don't even know if you heard yourself say this. But when he was eating the eggs, he goes, well, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to have one more egg.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you're not supposed to.
Oh, I get a kick out of it. I love it.
You're not supposed to count calories while you're on it. The whole goal is just to cleanse your body of like BS. But I'm already suffering, so I was like, so why don't I just do the calories as well? So I'm doing like 1,700 calories a day. And I'm just trying to get, just some weight off right now. And I appreciate the kind comments. People are saying you don't need to lose weight. And I really do appreciate that. I know that I'm not like overweight, but I really want definition. I want to see my abs again. I want to fit back into my 32, 33 pants rather than my 34, 36s, which are what I'm at now. So I want to lose like probably 20 pounds. And it'll get me back in my large t-shirts. It'll get me back into my 32 pants. And then I think like me around like 180, 175, I'll be great. Because when I was young, when you all first saw me, if any Days fans are out there, like when I was on the show, when I first started, I was probably 162 to 165.
Wow.
So, but I was also young. Like there's just something when you get older, especially in men, you guys just my shoulders got bigger. Yeah. Like I don't think 160 would look good on me now, but I think 175 would. And so right now I'm a little over 200. And so yeah, I'd really want to get down to that 175
well, you're crushing
mark.
it.
And we'll see. But I've been around 200 for like 2 years. So that's why it's become normal,
Right.
But I was like, I just want to do this. So.
Well, very proud of you, honey.
Yes, absolutely. And yeah, feel free to ask any questions, y'all, and we'll try to
I think of someone on Facebook earlier goes, I can't believe it's been 1 year almost since you both did the cross-country drive. It has been almost 1 year.
Do you know what, speaking of 1 year, the last episode that I aired was September 1st.
Really?
It was a year ago today that Sonny and Will walked off in Horton Town Square. Isn't that crazy?
But then you had that, what was it, New Year's Eve episode that you like Skyped into.
Oh, yeah.
You guys remember that? That was fun.
But yeah, time is going by
so fast.
So
how is it September?
Fast.
Can we discuss that? How is it September 1st? I feel like July was a longer month, and then August just.
Yeah, August was kind of weird. August was a weird month, but it's gonna, But now we're getting ready. We have, the holiday. As soon as you have like Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, like things are gonna speed up.
Halloween, my favorite holiday. Who else loves Halloween? Oh, I love everything about it. I'm so excited. Are we gonna dress up this year? We have to.
Yes. We'll do something, and we'll see how it's going to be. Last year, and we very rarely talk about this because I don't know if you're like us. I'm just so sick and tired of the damn C word talk and the getting the jab, and it's like everywhere, all over the news.
First, I was like, wait, what?
The C word.
Yeah, that can mean a lot of different things.
I think,
but I completely get it.
But I feel like the same thing happened in Florida, where our cases are like high right now. But I think they'll start to level out around October, November, December. And unfortunately, I think the rest, like certain other states, is when it's going to climb. I hope not. But I think Florida, like a lot of vacationing stopping because school's back. So it's just going to kind of level out. And, we can feel comfortable going places. But I was extra careful going home to see my family. But when we're alone, like I feel like I'm careful all the time. Like we're never in like mosh pits or like sharing drinks or food or yelling in like big crowded places.
No.
So going to the grocery store, going to dinner, or going anywhere. I've been doing a lot of golf, hence my golf shirt here, even though I didn't golf today.
I have to tell you, it was so cute because going out with our brother-in-law today, I was sitting in the back seat doing the navigation. And so you were in the driver's seat, he was in the passenger. And just from the back, you both had on these collared little polo shirts, and you both had hats on, and I was just cracking up.
And he had khaki shorts.
Khakis, like, oh, they're twins. It was the cutest thing.
Well, they have like a dress code with golfing if you're going to actually play in a lot of courses, and so I went. And my uncle passed away 2 years ago. He was an avid golfer, and when I was home, I went through my uncle's closet, and she gave me like a bunch of these really, really nice polos so that I can, go golfing. But I've been going to, I went to the driving range. I've been going to the driving range and practicing, and I'm really hoping to pick this, to pick this sport up and to learn this skill. But it's really fun so far. Mm-hmm. I'm having a good time. And there's this place called Top Golf, which I guess isn't just known to Orlando because Jim knew about it too. And not that I'm eating or drinking right now, but there will be a time where you get like your own little space to drive, to be at the driving range, but then you can like eat and have a couple beers, listen to music, and it's open till 1 a.m. So people go there for like date night and stuff.
Oh, can we do it? Let's do it this weekend.
Well, maybe we'll wait a little bit, maybe because I don't want to now because I'm not drinking or eating bad food, so I can't go and have a beer and wings. That's like what you can
go
do.
And get a club soda and some grilled chicken.
I guess I could do that, and then I can just watch you eat all the good stuff.
I want to actually do a little putting. Is that proper terminology?
I don't think they're gonna do. I don't think there's putting there.
Hit some balls.
Yeah, see, they have it in Texas.
And I saw Atlanta.
So Top Golf. So it's a big brand. See, I just like zoned out golf all these years, but I'm so reminded because everywhere you go in Florida, it's just golf course, you know. And I was looking for a hobby that also is like working out. You know, like if I was like getting a hobby as painting, you're just doing more sitting. So I was like, I really wanted something, and I waited, and I finally like just manifested into my life where I'm like, I'm going to go golf. I'm out in the sun. Baby. I can meet people, which is also great for her real estate because if you're meeting people and they're golfing on like these Florida courses, and I can, just say, oh, what do you do? And this and that. My wife's in real estate. So it could be like a really cool way to meet people too.
I'll give you some business cards.
I'll just tell them to go to your Instagram.
Go follow her on IG.
Go follow her on IG.
What year are we living in? Crazy.
I know. Yeah, but it's been great. We really enjoyed our summer. It was kind of adjusting to, her new career. And then just like learning all the back end stuff. Yeah. And we've been doing a lot of stuff with building content and working with brands. So, we kind of just left it open to the universe. And that was kind of like my whole goal of what I was trying to explain even months ago of, sometimes you have to close a door completely and then like allow your brain and manifest like new opportunity. And it all started to kind of, because like the first 6-7 months was still like all about COVID and adjusting here. Yeah. But then once May and the summer rolled around, like new doors started opening for us. So we're just like working away, every day. We're continuing to learn, educate. We're working on personal development. I still love listening to podcasts and reminding myself all the time too, to be grateful, to practice all of that stuff. Because when you're happy, it just exudes through you and it affects other people in a positive way. And that's just been really great. And that's why if anyone's in a slump, like that's why I really felt like the beginning of middle of August, I had so much fun. We had such a good summer, but I was like looking for like that something else. And that's when I went into the diet because I just wanted that discipline. And then it led to like golf. And now I feel like I kind of got out of that like 2-week rut that I was in. So sometimes just doing something challenging and learning something new can kind of get you, going. And now we got these last 90 days of the year because everyone just kind of blows off December. So I just want to do September, October, November, crush it, enjoy December because family's going to be here and all that kind of good stuff.
I know.
So,
and ever since we moved here, you've seen your family so much with them visiting from Ohio and you going up. It's just been nice.
It's been really nice. Have you ever seen Tattoo Fixers on Netflix? It's really good.
No.
I will definitely look into that. More. I've still been watching The Walking Dead. That's like my life. So once that's over, I'll have to look for some new ones.
But guys, I watched on Netflix. It was trending the He's All That is what it's called. And it was the remake of She's All That. However, they had Addison Rae, this big influencer, in it, and she makes over this guy. And I don't know if it's just me, but I loved it. It was such a fun watch. I just love that easy, fun, cute little comedy, teen comedy. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I watched it alone.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. I did watch Sweet Girl on Netflix.
Is that Jason Momoa?
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I think if you were like on a plane, you could watch it. If you want to throw it on. I mean, I wouldn't say, hey, make dinner, cue it up, call your friends over. It wasn't that good, but it was not a waste of time. So how would you rate that? That's actually kind of good. Call your friends over and know it sucks, but like the middle is just like, well, it wasn't a waste of time.
I got that.
So whatever that rating would be.
I love Lisa Goes. I adored He's All That. Rachel Lee Cook and Matthew Lillard in it cracked me up. So they had some of the actual people from the first one in it. Yeah, but they played different characters, which I was like, really? But it was fine. I agree. Oh my God, Matthew Lillard at the end crushed it. He was so good. And then I saw someone else said White Lotus, and I've heard so much about this show. And funny enough, when I was in New Jersey, I was sitting with my brother-in-law, and he goes, "Oh, have you ever seen this or heard of it? It's White Lotus." I go, "Oh yeah." Well, he was watching the last episode of the season, but I got so into it that I watched the whole thing with him. However, now I know, like I watched the whole season in 1 hour, pretty much because I watched the last episode. I mean.
So you know how it ends.
So I'm
I
like,
might check it out.
Do I go back and watch it? I don't know. Is it worth it?
How was Addison Rae? And for anyone who might not know, Addison Rae is probably 100% top 5 most followed people on TikTok.
Yes.
And but I think she booked this movie before she was that famous.
No.
I mean, it's out now, so they had to have shot that like what, 18 months ago?
No way. I think it was a quick turnaround. I think they shot that not even a year ago. I don't know. I thought she did a good job. I mean, she's definitely new, but I thought she did great for all things considered. You know what I mean? I think she did a good job. So,
well, yeah, because she's new to it and you have to figure it out. It's also an easy film. Like that kind of film, right. I didn't watch it, but I can imagine is like, if you have a great director and a great atmosphere and someone is good on camera like her, there probably wasn't anything too tough that you had to do.
Now, the one thing I will say, someone said Addison is friends with Kourtney Kardashian. Well, Kourtney Kardashian made a little cameo in this, and she was playing this owner of a brand who Addison Rae's character had a brand deal with, and she was like kind of losing the brand deal. And Kourtney Kardashian, her acting was not it. I'm sorry.
Well, she doesn't have to.
She doesn't have to. Yeah. But I know maybe she was playing into her persona, who she is in real life, but it was just very dry I mean, there was no emotion.
Well, and
I guess she doesn't have to.
And I heard people were giving Addison Rae crap about it, but it's like, it's hard to carry a movie. It's also difficult to break into it. So like, I'm rooting for her. If that's what she wants to do, I hope it works out well. And God bless her. I mean, it's very difficult. Like the more you listen to celebrities and you really break it down, there's really no answer to how people get famous or get those opportunities. Yep. Like it's just kind of right place, right time. Yep. And then you work hard, but then some people blow the opportunity. Right. But there really isn't a roadmap. The hardest thing to answer is when someone says, "What do I do to become an actor?" It's like, I mean, I don't know. You can like make social media timing, platforms, but social media and really timing is everything. If you're the right look, good enough, in the right place at the right time, and you book it, then like that's kind of how it works. It's kind of crazy. Or you're like Addison Rae and you start a TikTok, and because the whole thing with Addison, she was hanging out with the right group. They all were really famous. So she got famous because they were famous. However, she had the goods, she just kind of knew what she was doing, and she was consistent, and she posted videos, which I know a lot of people will give her, BS saying, "Oh yeah, she just dances around in videos." But a lot goes into that people don't realize when it comes to learning the dances and making sure you have the right lighting and the right song and the right faces or whatever it is that she does. It's an art. And I say, hey, you do you, girl, know? But that's been the thing that's been missing for like 7 years of doing content for me, is that like there's people who do magic that you can constantly do magic. Mm-hmm. If you're a singer, you can constantly do covers. Mm-hmm. If you're a dancer, you can always do dances, and TikTok gives you the viral dances because they're going viral. If you're an actor, you're not just going to read monologues. So it's the hardest thing to like, because even with my TikToks or my like funny videos I do, you can't really produce a viral video a day and think of like, well, what can I do today? Right. Where like a dance is like, oh, it's 12 seconds. I'm just going to learn the dance and do it. So there is that advantage with that app. But with ours, I feel a lot of people are in and out of podcasting, and it's a huge platform, but that has been something that's really worked for me because I'm a talker. You know, some people can't hold conversations every week or be able to do that. So I feel fortunate that the podcasting got real big. But I still have fun on TikTok and on the Instagram Reels. I try to do funny videos when I can.
Oh, you always do. And he actually crushes it on all those. But I will say the one thing with podcasting that's helped me, I feel like now when I sit and I meet any person in the world, whether it's, you know, for business or it's, you know, for just friendship, play, whatever it might be, I feel like I'm really able to get to know someone because I love chatting with them. And I feel the podcast has really helped me with that. If that makes sense, you know, to keep the conversations going and getting to know someone, because ultimately that's what it all is about. So,
well, especially when we used to have a lot of guests,
that's what I mean.
You're like, how do you, you know, keep the conversation going, make it interesting
on air? You know, that's a whole different art, which, you know, you don't realize. Because a lot of times, especially when we used to have a lot of days guests on, he had these working relationships with them. But for me, sometimes it was maybe the first time I was meeting them. And I was like, so how do I act like I know them and make them feel comfortable and want to chat with us when you know them and I don't? So it's always interesting too, when we would have a guest on that both of us didn't know, because then we both had to lean into that.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of an art, and it was fun to learn. But everyone I would say that we've had on has been so wonderful and just so nice.
Yeah, no, it's been a really cool experience. How do y'all like the live? I really like this.
I do too.
I don't know why, but there's like when we film, because I was trying to figure it out, because it's funny how things happen by accident. Because Alyssa and I used to shoot across from each other because that's how all like the big podcasters do it. Except if you're solo, a lot of solo people that do podcasts will look to camera. But then when we did that one where we were looking to camera, people loved it. And we were like, well, let's look to camera because it feels more engaging and it was easier for editing and it was like just better in general. And now when I was home and I did the solo one, I go, let me just go live. I've never done the Freddie Alyssa show live before. I mean, we have, but not like recently. And then we were sitting here talking about, I was like, we could film this. I was like, what if we just go live again? And I kind of like this. I don't know if I want to go live every week. Maybe there's times we'll be able to, like, if we're busy, record and then put it out like normal. But do you all like going, do you like the live, or is there any difference to you, or is it just different? Because I kind of like the vibe. I almost feel like we're here together.
Also, too, I see that reminds me, Freddie, are you going to do a part 2 of when you turned into a cartoon? I can't wait for that. You got to do it.
I am. I'm waiting until I can go to this one specific place because that's how I'm going to end it. So, I don't want to leave you hanging for too long, but yeah, I'm going to do a part 2 of the cartoon character thing. And I want to make it, I could have potentially made a series of that. And I was like, that's kind of fun, but
it'd be so fun.
I'm going to at least do the part 2. I love it. It's nice that you can interact and talk. Yeah, people like it live.
Speaking of as well, I saw someone had asked, are you going to watch Beyond Salem? And they thought it would be cool if we kind of did a commentary about it. Wouldn't that be fun?
I think I wonder if it's all going to be released on the 6th or how it's going to be. Yeah, we'll check it out for sure. And then I definitely think we'll commentate on it in general, because I'm curious of how it's all going to look and what it was. And also I'm curious to see what turns out, considering when I was offered to do it, like the pitch of what it was going to be.
The storyline.
And I'm curious, like, oh yeah, because I kind of know the storyline.
Supposedly.
Unless it was changed. But I know a little bit about what they're going to do, and I'm curious what ends up like making it or what they ended up turning it into. But yeah, I would love to see it.
It's one episode each day, September 6th through 10th. Okay. That's kind of fun. Also, guys, speaking of days, Camila and Marlon got married. Oh my God. I was so happy when I saw that. They looked amazing.
They're
amazing.
It was funny because I DM'd them to congratulate them, and I was thinking to myself, I knew they were getting a lot of messages, so I wasn't going to write too much. But deep down, I was like, I know exactly how you two are feeling. You have like 72 hours of
highest high.
The highest high, where you're just you wake up, you're not tired, you're just on cloud 9 for like 72 hours, and then you kind of like crash, and you're like, oh. Well, now we were married, and the same thing happened when I won the Emmy.
I think any
huge moment, you carry that for 48 to 72 hours, and then you almost have a crash because you were so high for 3 days. and then you just kind of crash, and then you're like back to normal, and you're like, okay, now I'm just doing my normal stuff. But I bet you they're like still on cloud 9 right now.
Jonathan, we love you too.
Yeah, we love you.
So sweet. Yeah, I definitely feel all of that, but it looked like an amazing wedding, what I saw. And they even had, I think, people did some photos, and it was in Joshua Tree. It just looks so beautiful. So I'm so happy for them. We've known them for so long. They were kind of like our story where we all met each other. We met them when we were all just dating, you know, and they have just been together so long.
I think they got together roughly when we were.
They did.
Yeah.
So we went to, I think it was the No Hate event.
They were together then?
Yeah, they were there.
So that was.
Yeah, that was
like
2010, 11?
Like maybe 12.
Oh my gosh, I know the pictures are somewhere. Man, we were so young.
I
But
know.
we took them at that event.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Yeah,
Great cause.
Yeah, that's really nice. I love when we see our friends doing well and doing cool things, and getting married is a big one. So, but let's go ahead and answer one or two more questions here, because I have to eat.
How do you like the humidity of Florida compared to the dry heat in Cali? What are your thoughts on that, honey? We love Florida.
I'm very whatever when it comes to the weather. I just kind of roll with the punches. So if it's hot, then it is what it is. If it's cold, if it's raining, like today it was raining all day, I'm like, cool. So I don't have an issue with it. I think, and even the bugs, I thought bugs were an issue here, but not, it's only where we were staying in the Airbnb. But now, like, there is, there's like no bugs, no nothing. So,
you know,
I
it's
just love it.
I went for a run the other day in the Reunion resort area, which is where we used to stay. And it was such a beautiful evening out. But I did notice, because I was like really sweaty, and I go, what's on my face? Because I was in an area where there were a lot of bugs. So I was like swatting my face and my arm. And then once I left
Where was this?
It was like right across from Reunion Resort. But I was really hot and sweaty. So I just remember noticing that.
Amber,
sending prayers
to the family. Absolutely.
And then Samfire, I'm on my 5th surgery on my crushed ankle. This is the pits, but at least it's not much longer.
Sending those vibes, sending the good prayers that way as well.
All the good juju.
And
throw
Patricia,
them some good juju, baby.
Throwing it through the screen. Patricia, anytime there's like celebrity accounts, and even for us moving forward too, we will only communicate through our main accounts. Everything's basically make sure it's a blue check mark, or if there's anybody, even on days who if someone's trying to communicate, I think everyone gets a blue check mark. So if anyone's making fake accounts and stuff, just be aware of that. Just always make sure it's a blue check mark. And that's kind of the way, because I even heard the owner or the CEO of Instagram saying that was initially what the blue check mark was for, is just to protect people. And so people know that that's your official account, which is really nice. So that'll be good. So just be aware of all that stuff. You see celebrities post all the time about people making fake accounts and it's just silly, but
it is silly.
Luckily we're pretty good. I mean, there's a few that come up, but for the most part, people know. So always make sure to check the blue check marks.
Say hi to Stanley, Scarlet Fire.
Stanley, what's up?
Y'all are so much fun. I have to tell you, I'm loving the lives, because you get to interact and see what everyone's up to
in
right
real
now.
time.
And I feel like I'm chatting with y'all.
Yeah, so we'll really consider this moving forward too. Maybe including this a little bit more into it, because we do it. We have a members podcast that we don't really promote much, which we really should promote more. We have a community membership program here on Facebook and YouTube, and we've been going live there for 14, 15 months, I think. We've had the membership. And we do it like once a month. But other than that, we never really go live.
I know.
And so I think we might even start doing it publicly. But yeah, I think this is really neat. And it just really feels like you're engaged and it's just fun. So yeah, thank you so much for everyone being just awesome.
Oh my gosh,
you're just all so
I had
kind.
A fake DM from Guy. LOL. Yeah, no.
Yeah, people are just like.
People are cray. They gotta knock it off.
And if you really want to be that person, or you really love that person, unless you're trying to scam people, it's like just make a fan account.
Yeah.
Like you can make a fan account, but like say it's a fan account and then post and interact. But yeah, it's crazy how people do that. So just beware. Always double check and make sure it's it's a verified account. But we want to thank you so much, and we're wishing you the best week ever. We'll be back on Wednesday next week. Mm-hmm. It may or may not be live. We will see.
We'll let you know.
We'll let you know. So yeah, enjoy the rest of your week. We appreciate you so much, and we will talk to you soon. Take care, everyone.
Bye, all. Have a great week. Rest of your week.
So Facebook there. All right. Bye everyone.